Hey, what's going on YouTube? Back with another video. Hey, I just wanted to show you guys what all I did to get this thing running. Bought the car really cheap. It didn't run, drive, anything. I bought it for the motor and transmission because I knew the motor and transmission, you know, it's stuff that we like to use in our other cars. We put them in our other regular little Civics, CRXs, whatever you got you want to put a bigger motor into. So I bought it for the motor and tranny. I figure, you know, it's worth it. Bought it super cheap. But the twist plot, when I got the car, I decided I was gonna do compression tests and all this other stuff, make sure the motor's good, take it out, put it in another car. Long story short, that didn't happen. We got here. Ended up getting the car running. How did I do that, you say? Dun, dun, dun. So, go ahead and take off the hood real quick. Hood's off. Yes, sir. That's what we bought it for. This bad boy. Motor and transmission. So, where to start, you say, right? This is where you start. That's all you need. A couple little tools. Little battery tester, charger. You know, in case the car doesn't have any power, you're gonna wanna go ahead and get you something. It don't have to be this exact one, of course, but anything you come up with, something from Walmart, they go for about 80 bucks, 90 bucks at Walmart. Not that brand, but other kinds. Go ahead and put your, get your charger, put your charger on your battery. That's what I did. I'm just showing you guys pretty much the steps, because when I got there, battery was dead. So there you go, battery. Then I went to AutoZone and I rented this that I never returned. And I took it and I put it here. Took the spark plug wires out and I put it in there, just like so. Well, of course you want to take the spark plug out. So you take the spark plug out, then you go ahead. This thing, when you buy it, this is going to be separated from here. And if I could teach you something, if anything you leave with this video that you learn when you leave this video, anything I could teach you, tighten this. When you put this onto this, make sure you tighten the fuck out of this. Put you a wrench on here or vice grip, whatever, and the right size, whatever, and tighten the piss out of it. If you don't tighten this on here really tight, you're going to be running into issues where this, when you go to take this back out, you tighten it up in there, right? You put it in, tighten it up, you do your reading, whatever, blah, blah. When you go to spin this back out and take it back out, you go to start spinning it, taking it back out, this bottom will actually stay in the head. And if that stays in the head, forget about it. Send it to the junkyard. You're going to be here forever. It'll probably take you at least a half a day to get this out. You're not going to get no socket in there to get it out. Nothing like that. So, long story short, make sure you tighten the piss out of this. Don't even plan on taking it back off, because basically you're going to use the same size on all your car. If you're driving a Honda, that's what you're using this all the time. You're not going to use no other kind. But the kit does come with, not this kit, but if you go to Harbor Freight or something like that, damn it. If you go to Harbor Freight or something like that, they go, they come with the four to five of these plus some other another air fitting one that you could just actually, you don't have to screw it. You just take it and sit it on here. You just sit it on there. And when you sit it on there, it just vacuums it. Basically, it sits like something like this, and it's a circle rubber fitting, and it just clogs the hole, and you turn it over, and it would still pump the same. Anyway, long story short, once I did the compression test and I seen that all of them, I did all 4, of course. I took all 4 spark plugs out at the same time. I did the same reading all the way across. Some people recommend you take 1 spark plug out, do that one, then you put the spark plug back in, take the spark plug out, so on and so forth, 1 at a time. But you can also do it if you take out all 4 and just do it all at the same time. It works like that too. So it's just all up to you to, you know, on how you want to do it. Little camera action here. But yeah, after you do your compression test, and you see the compression is good, now you know the motor is good, right? Now you got to figure out, okay, am I getting spark? Am I getting gas? Your normal stuff, right? I mean, unless you know, if you don't know, if you came here, you know, hoping to learn everything, then, you know, I'm the man. I can show you some stuff. But in all reality, after the compression test, you just want to check to see if you got spark. If you got spark, you move on. In my case, this car had nothing. I had no power to the no spark, no power coming out of the distributor. I also had no power going to the ECU, PCM, whatever, computer. I had no power going to the main relay, which gave me no power to the fuel pump, right? Well, me doing that, I ended up figuring out that the ECU was bad. So he gave me the car with about 3 ECUs. He had 1 plugged in and 2 underneath. One of them didn't plug in. So I grabbed the other one. I tried it. I said, let me try it. Plugged it in. Boom. All of a sudden, I had power back here. So I'm assuming when he changed something in the fuse box, I'll show you guys inside. So this is what I got it with. That's how I got it. Dashboard out. I haven't moved no dashboard or anything. It's just been like this. Cluster, everything's there. But as you can see, it's a wire mess, you know, even on the other side. I'll open it up real quick, show you guys. But you see, everything is still here on the dashboard. If you guys need any parts, let me know. I'm willing to get rid of some of these parts. I'm gonna make the car, my goal is to make the car into a go-kart. So that's the goal. Make this into a go-kart, cut it up, cut the quarter panels off. I want to take the trunks off, everything. The roof is coming off, doors, fender, everything. So if you guys need a sunroof glass, motor or something, let me know. Got bumpers. But look, this is the wiring. Look how the whole car was just all wires. So yeah, that's how I got it. But I actually went in here and started messing with wires. As you can see, they cut all the wires to the doors. So the doors got no power. And I feel like something in the harness, I don't know, but I feel like something in the harness, these wires got to be connected. I feel like it makes the voltage or something. But long story short, in my case, I went ahead and bypassed everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. But like I said, I swapped the computer. I got power back to the, once I got power back to the distributor, then I was like, okay, that's cool. The fuse box, he left the extra fuse box in here. Fuse box is good though, of course. Let me see. The hood is good. I mean, even though I'm walking on it, the hood's good. Door panels. I really don't care. I'm gonna throw it away. But I came over here to show you guys. What I did was I bypassed pretty much everything. So let me get the phone off of this tripod. So pretty much I bypassed everything. You see all the door panel wires. I started to actually wire them back because I was running out of ideas. I was thinking that had something to do with it, which probably does still, but I went ahead and eliminated it. I said, screw it, bypassing it. So I started coming in here with a probe. I got the wire probe and I just stuck them in here. I went on YouTube actually, and the only video I could find that kind of pointed me in my direction that I was, needing to go. It was one guy on there. He pointed to, I believe it was this red and white wire. One of these wires, I don't remember. But it led me here. Like, okay, so he's saying this wire. And when I checked the wire, I actually had power to mine. So I was like, okay. After I changed the ECU, I got power to the distributor. His problem was he had no power to his distributor. So I was like, okay, that's not the same problem, but let me check the rest of them. So I start probing around in here, checking, sticking, popping, sticking wires. You can see some of the wires been poked. When I got in here and started poking around, somebody told me, oh, the immobilizer has a immobilizer for the key. Well, there's no key. But the immobilizer was still there. And I went ahead and twisted the wires together from the immobilizer. So let me tell you how they did that. There's videos on here on how to do it. But since you're here, right? Might as well show you. So here's the wires for the immobilizer. You got a blue and black, brown and white, and gray and yellow. Now, I would have to take this tape off to show you guys what's what, which I could do that real quick. Hold on. I'll take the tape off. Show you guys. So, there's the wires, basically. Damn, I took the tape off. But your brown and black goes together. Your yellow and white and green. Yellow, black, white, and green. Gray and blue. And like I said, your brown and black. So you put those like that. Just twist them together. Brown and black. Yellow, black with the white and green. Just twist them together. And then twist together your gray, if it focuses, your blue and your gray. Twist them two together. And that's all I did. And then I just taped it all up like you seen it earlier and just kind of stuck it up here. But I just want to show you guys, I even went to like the corner here. I found these wires that were in the harness. And I was like, oh, ground. I know it needs ground. Let me go ahead and run the ground. Well, that didn't do anything. So I'm like, damn, still nothing, So I went back online. Let me see if I find it here for you guys. I went back online and there it is. Went back online and I figured out this was actually missing. This was missing. And I kept saying to myself, I was like, it's a lot of stuff. This is a lot cleaner actually now that you look in here. Wires are actually a lot, like I kind of, put them. It's a lot cleaner. It looks a lot organized, or maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know. But I had to strip all the plastics off the wires. You see it? I stripped all the plastics off the wires. This is all the plastics that wrap around the harness. I saved them just in case. And I saved some of the, but I took all the shit off the wiring. Took all the wiring apart, and that's when I realized, I'm like, a lot of this stuff isn't plugged in, you know? So I'm like, where does this go? Where does this go? Where does that go? And I started, you know, plugging stuff back in. Like, this wasn't plugged in. A lot of this wasn't plugged in. This wire wasn't plugged in. And this is your main wire that goes, it actually goes to the wipers. So this is for the right here. It's for the wipers in your headlights. So this plugs up here. All this plugs up here, right? Plug that here, plug this here, right? Plug that on. Well, if you chase it, you see from the wipers, it goes to the fuse box. This is the fuse box. From the wipers to the fuse box, and then this is also to the fuse box, from the wipers to the fuse box. So these two plugs are straight to the fuse box, and this one plug goes back to the harness. So I'm like, none of this was plugged in. This wasn't plugged in. So I plugged this back in, I pushed this back in here, and I'm like, okay. Once I plug this back in, I got power. I got some more power. So I'm like, okay, there goes some more, half of the damn power. And this too. Now, if you see, this wire is burnt. See the wire? There you go. Focus. The wire is burnt. I've been pulling on it. All type of stuff. It's like 2 threads left. But that wire right there, this black and red, is going to be for your tail lights. It's going to be for your tail lights. And on these cars, they have a known common issue on the Preludes. This car is a 99 Honda Prelude. SH, but they're all the same. SI, SH, and I think they go from 96 or 97. Yeah, I think 97 to 2000 or 2001. Don't get in the comments and start arguing with me now, but it's somewhere in there. I'm not too sure. I'm more of a Civic guy. I know 92 to 95, 96 to 2000, you know, but I know these cars and the Accords and the Integras, they got different year to years. Anywho, when I got here, I realized they got this one guy Spanish guy on here. He barely speaks any English. Speaks enough where you can kind of understand. I was raised around Spanish people. Not raised, but hung out a lot. So I know a little something, you know, a little, you know what I'm saying? A little something. A little que pasa. Que pasa. Damn, I fucked up. Yo, don't get in the comments trying to bully me now. Que paso. Hey, I'm just high. But check me out. This wire is for the taillights. Like 2 threads left here. This is for the taillight. If I put power here, I get the door chime. I get the tail lights come on. Everything lights up with that. So I'm like, okay. Long story short, I chased it. Did a lot of work, man. We chased a lot of shit down. This is the wire. So as you can see, it's missing something. I still haven't gotten to the tail lights yet. I just wanted to get the car running. But if I put power to this red and black wire, put power to it, tail lights come on. So I'm probably gonna end up running a switch to this also. I'm just gonna do a switch panel like a race car and just flip everything up, whatever here. They already took the dash out. So I got another plan for that. My other plan, hopefully, put another piece of metal down here and fab some shit up. Getting off topic though. So I bypassed some shit here, as you can see. The neutral clutch safety switch, which is right here. I thought that was going to be my issue also, because a lot of times that's your issue. It could be as simple as that. Your car won't start, you check here. This is on your clutch pedal. It's clutch neutral safety switch. If your clutch is not pushed down, car can't start. If you disable it, now you can start the car without the clutch. It'll just turn right on. So we bypassed a lot of things here, right? We bypassed the clutch safety switch. We bypassed the immobilizer, right? Once we plugged in, we're doing a little recap. Once we plugged in these two harnesses right here, this was the ignition. This is, you know, power and all that, which, like I said, it ties into your wipers here, right? So once that ties in and it goes back to the ignition here, it goes back to your ignition, right? So now when you look at the ignition itself, this is the ignition. Chase those wires, and you can see this wires, they was in here digging stuff, trying to figure stuff out, trying to hotwire they were trying to hotwire the car. You can see they was in here cutting stuff. Damn, I keep losing focus. But as you can see, I chased these two from the harness, chased it down, and seen that they go here. So I started chasing the wires back. It took me a few days, man. Chased them down, and what I came up with, once I checked all these wires with, like I said, with the probe, stuck it in there, checked every single wire. I checked every single wire. I didn't skip no wires. Even the wires on the multiplex. This is called the multiplex box. Some type of power regulator deal. Checked every plug on there. There's another plug on the side, a green one. I checked every wire in there too. And when I came back up here, I chased this one lousy ass wire, which is right here. And guess where that goes? You know, goes into your main harness here. And this goes to your wiper motor. So for some reason, they got wiper, headlight, all of that, you know, going into this, your fuse box, and then coming out to your wiper. Of course, it's gonna go power the wiper motor and all that. So when I checked here, everything here is dead. Nothing had power except for this one wire. Like I said, the black and green. When I checked the black and green, it had, instead of having what the car has, 12, 13, 14 volts, whatever, it was like 6, 4 volts, 7 volts. And I'm like, what? So I did some, you know, Googling for days and weeks and days, trying to figure out why do they have the wipers tied into fuse box, which kind of ties into the ignition. I was typing in Google searches, like the wipers wouldn't stop moving. The wipers kept moving while the car was started. The cluster lights were dimming in and out, and it wasn't the alternator. You know, I checked that, checked the battery, charged the battery, and when you go to the battery with the probe, you'll see you have the right voltage every time, but it wasn't coming through. So, long story short, I came back over here to the wiper motor. Found the plug, right? When I found the plug, I found that the green and black wire. I found the green and black wire, and I was like, okay, let me see how much power it has out here. When I checked it out here, of course it had the same, 4.7, 6 volts, sometimes 7 volts the most. So then I said, okay, what would cause that, right? What would make that happen? So I started chasing stuff down, and when I chased it back down, it led me to a wire in this harness, the underneath harness out of here. There was a cut wire in here. So as you can see, I took the whole harness down. I retaped it now tied it up there with a little piece of wire, but it ain't going nowhere. It's solid. And then I put it back, you know, in the harness clip, so it's solid. It's not going nowhere. But when I chased it down here, chased all these wires, chased it back through here. I even went ahead and taped some of that up so it didn't hit the alternator. But I taped up a lot of the wires just to get it out the way. But it chased, when I found it, it was a cut wire. And the cut wire was, cut wire, no. Well, it changed colors. I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes it'll start out white and blue, and then when you get here, it's not here, but when you get down here, it'll be green and orange the rest of the way. So that's what happened. But over here, it's a white and green wire that got cut. So how did I find that, you say? I use this tool. It's a cable tracker device. If you go on YouTube, you'll see videos of people using it, and that's what I did. I had to figure out how to use it. It's a really cheap device. It only cost me 13 bucks on eBay or Amazon, one of them two. They both have it. It's probably even cheaper now. But you just take this thing, and how I found the broken wire was, like I said, I did everything here, and I figured out the green wire. You know, I followed the green wire all the way through here, back down through here, and that's when I found it was an issue going on here. So I tied this on. You take either one of these wires that you want to take from this is the alerter. So I took this. You could take the red or the black. You take it and you put it on the wire that you think it is. Like I said, when I chased the problem wire, the green and black, when I chased it back through here, it converts. It converts right up here where I already have it. So I put it on the end of the wire. The same green and black wire that goes from green and black, it splits. So I put it on one, it splits into two wires. This one green and black wire splits into two green and black wires. So from there, it goes out here, and then up here is where it starts to split, where I already put it back together, like I said. But let's see if you can see. Oh, there, look, bingo. So there's the wire. Like I said, I just did it real quick. Just wanted to get it running, taped it back up, and got it. So I put this on one end of that wire. There's two wires. It went from one green and black to two green and blacks. So I put one on one green and black, and I checked it. I put one on the other green and black and checked it. So when I put this on one of the green and blacks, then you grab this wand and you turn the wand on. Oh, I left it on. It's dead. Damn. I don't know if you can hear that. It's kind of dead now. It's been on. I forgot to turn it off. But once you put that on the wire you think it is, you take this thing and you squeeze the button on it, and you come back and it beep, 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 beep. Easy, easy breezy. This is a cheap one, but they sell more expensive ones for like almost $200, which everyone recommends. But this one works the same, and you could watch a video on that. If you guys want me to show you me using it one day, just let me know. But I used that. I cheated, and I put it on there on the wire, and I found out there was a broken wire. That's the one I just showed you. I went ahead and I fixed it. As you can see, I ran some tape, ran an extra piece of wire, fixed it. Still had the same issue. So I'm like, damn, what's going on? So here's where we're at with it now, man. Now we're at what I did. I took the same green and black wire that was, remember, this all was the harness for the wiper motor. and the wipers wouldn't stop moving crazily. They kept glitching and moving on their own, right? So I just depinned it. I took the wire out of it, depinned it, took the green and black wire that I wanted, yeah, this one, and I ran it straight to the battery. I'm gonna run it to a switch so I can turn it off and on inside the car. But for right now, just to test it, that's how I did it. Ran it straight to the battery. But I also feel like the car had a ground issue. I feel like it was more of a ground issue that was going to the wipers. So I went ahead and I took the ground one out also. So this is the switch. The ground wire was right here on the top one. Ground one was here and the green one was down here, the bottom hole. So went ahead and did the ground one, took that one out also, and here's the ground one. I took the ground one and I ran them both. I did them separate, one at a time, so I know which one is which. But it's just something just to try, you know. I just wanted to get it running so I could cut the car up. You know, I could come back later and always make it professional, but I got it running. Yay! So what I did with the ground one, I ran the ground one longer. You don't need the charger anymore. It starts now. So I took the ground one and I made the ground one long, extra long, so I can know the difference. So this is the power one, just enough to get to the battery, and a little longer in case it rips. And then the ground one, I just made it super long, right? Super long. And I took the ground one and I just tied it straight into the terminal. And I tied it right into the terminal. Tapped it straight in the terminal. So anytime this terminal goes on, it's grounded, extra ground. Straight to it, right? So we fixed the ground. Well, now we got extra ground to the wiper. So the power, like I said, I'm gonna run a switch to it. I'm gonna leave it here and have a switch in the car where I can turn the ignition on. And it's basically gonna be like a kill switch, right? Because without it, the car is not gonna start if you don't know where the switch is at. So it's kind of doing me a favor. It's a win-win because I'm gonna have the car chopped up and it's gonna look like a go-kart. So anyone that comes in there, they would have to know where my switch is at in order to start the car. So it's a win-win. You're not gonna be able to start the car without getting power to this wire. If this wire don't have power, it don't matter if you came out here and directly, like I was doing in the beginning, the only way I could start the car after I got it figured out was to run power straight from here to the starter. You take it straight to this top one right here, to your starter solenoid. This wire right here, this goes to your ignition. So you take it off and you just touch a wire directly on the terminal thing there, straight to your battery, and boom, your starter is gonna start. And that's how I did the compression test, and that's how I was able to get the car up and going, started every time to see, okay, this is not working, let's try this. This is not working, let's try that. I was only able to start it from here with a piece of wire straight from the starter to the battery. Eventually, another thing I had to do, you got to check all the grounds. So when I check the ground here, the ground, this is the main ground. Without this ground, car won't start. When I checked that main ground, I went to the junkyard and I got this piece that you're seeing, the screw in it, and I cut it really long. And I came here and I rewired it into the car. So you see now it looks like like original. You can't really tell because I taped it all up and I put it all back to factory specs. But I had to change this because all the wires here were all corroded and busted up. So take a look. Yours might not be here. Yours might be actually like, you know, on the thermostat housing or down there somewhere. But just look for your ground wire, whatever motor it is. Maybe you have a single cam, you know, and that's definitely going to be on the back side of the thermostat housing. But check that. Always check your ground. Sometimes they're loose. Sometimes one wire broke off. And these control fuel pump, injectors, main relay, all of that. It's 4 ground wires, but mostly your injectors. Yeah, that was bad. So I went ahead and I replaced that. Like I said, he had an extra fuse box there. I tried swapping it. That did nothing. But it comes down to this. Let's show you guys real quick how this thing works. You just put this wire on. So like I said, I just figured this out yesterday. Finally got it pretty much running where I can cut it up now. Now it's actually ready to drive on the streets, you know. And then put the ground on her and show you guys how she's looking. You gotta start it with a screwdriver, of course. See, when I put the wire, it has direct power. See that? Oh, I took the wire off. I took the spark plug wire off. I was wondering why it was sounding like that. Spark plug wire is here somewhere. So look, you got to take this off to turn off the car. It's the only bad part. That's why I'm going to run a switch to it. The only bad part, you got to take this off to shut the car off. So I'm going to run a switch so I could do it from the inside. But as I was telling you guys, I took the wire off to show you guys the compression. I didn't put it back on. I was wondering why it was revving up like that and sounding like that. They even got the wrong wires on here. The wires don't even go down. Look at them. They're small. They don't even cover that thing. But it's working. But yeah, guys, that's what I did. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. We got it running. It runs good. Can't wait to show you guys once I cut it up. Take everything off of it. Take the fenders off. Everything, doors. Cut the roof. Hood. Everything's coming off. Fenders, everything. Doors. Cut these quarter panels off. I'm going to do something nice with the tail lights. I'm going to, my plan is to cut a hole to fit the tail light in it. And no matter where it goes, I'm just gonna have it in there. 2 tail lights, so that way it's still street legal. And I love the way these tail lights look. It's something about the Prelude tail lights that are just so sick. So like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of parts for sale. You guys see anything you want, let me know. I'll ship it. I don't care. Got the spoiler, the whole dashboard, anything from the dash, anything that you need. Let me know. Doors, window regulators, power windows, all that's coming off, man. So anything you guys need, let me know. Let me know. And if you guys got any questions about anything, man, here's another thing that I had to end up messing with before you guys go. You know, if you don't stick around to the whole video, you might miss something. You might miss something. But here's remember I said I was chasing down the green wire, green and black, goes down to 2, and they come 2. So one of them was actually this wire wasn't plugged in. So they had this thing disabled or whatever they called it, and they plugged all this. They had everything plugged out and cut. When I plugged this back in, I got power. Somehow power goes into it and generates back into a wire that's needed. So all little things like that, man, matters. These grounds, they have all these grounds tied back in. They tied in the blinker, the bumper light, and all, the headlight. Everything's tied in here, and I thought that could have been it, but I knew in the back of my head, ground wire is not gonna. But that's what we did, man. We were missing ground, you know. This was fun. I'm not gonna lie. We did a lot of work here. Like I said, Anything you guys need help with, like I said, I put the computer in and we got power to the distributor, but you know, in some cases that might not be it, because like I said, one guy had a wire issue, and what he ended up doing was the red and white wire here, I believe it was one of these red and white, he ended up tying it with another, which is just one of the other wires that had 12 volts, and just twisting them together, and it worked. But I'm pretty sure his issue was going to be his multiplex. That's what his issue was going to be, but he didn't know that he could do that. He didn't mention anything about a multiplex, so I'm pretty sure his issue is going to be here. He just came out one day, his car had no power. So if you know that, it could be a various amount of things, but if you just got to troubleshoot, and that's exactly what I did here. I went down the list. You see, I went ahead and I unplugged this. I also went ahead and I opened this all the way up. I took this this top off to make sure there's some like just like your distributor cap and your rotor button, it has little points in there, and they say when those go bad, your ignition. But what I came to learn, if the points were bad, here, oh, I still got the battery on, but when you turn the key, it would get stuck. You see how when I let go, watch this, it just comes right back. It twists back on its own. So that pretty much means it's good, you know, in a way. Some cars I've seen online on videos, the car will start and shut off, all type of dumb stuff. So I went straight here, and what I did was, on mines I got lucky because on this year it unplugs, but on most cars, Civics, Accords, these don't unplug. These wires are soldered straight to the back of here. They solder them straight on to here. So the only thing you could do is to test it is to cut the wires. And a lot of people, or you could do what they did here to test it. Like, I could tell they knew what they were doing, but they didn't have enough time to, or knowledge, I don't know. I feel like it's between the two. But you see what they did there? They shave the wire and they jump it. And that's how you jump the ignition. That's the ignition wire. So they were on to something, but they didn't quite figure it out. It took me days, weeks, you know, and I know something, you know, I know a little bit. I don't want to say I know everything, but I know a little something to get me by. And they were trying. I chased down every wire in this car. Came in here, I chased every wire. As you can see, I got some of them detached. This is the other wire that I was telling you about for the taillights, the black and red, which goes here. This black and red. So my next thing here, and then, like I said, I chased it up here. This is also the black and red. And then I chased it up front and figured out it's also black and red, right? And look, the ground wire is cut. So I thought that could be my issue with the lights, and then I said, nah, let me look on this side. Let me see on this side. Oh, this side's still connected. So then I took up the power probe and I just put power to the black and red wire, right? When I put power to the black and red wire, my lights turned on. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. If you guys need help, you guys want me to drop another banger on that, let me know. But I'm pretty much telling you, you know, what you gotta do. If it's your tail lights, you know, you don't have to come back to another video for me to explain nothing. I'm telling you, if it's your tail lights, it's gonna be this wire. It's gonna be on the fuse box. It's gonna be your white plug, and it's gonna be this black and this red and black wire. That's for your tail lights. So what happens is it burns out the plug and it burns up the fuse box. Put you guys down for a second to pull it out. But look, if you pull it out, you're gonna see that the whole thing is burnt. Look, the whole thing's burnt. So when you run into something like that, you got a couple options. You could depin the rest of them, take the pins out of all of them, and get you a new one, which I have. I went and got me one already. Somewhere in here. I think it's back here. Where did I put my new one? I don't know. It's somewhere in here. But I got a new one already. And I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm just gonna take each wire out like you seen me do up front, one by one. Take each one of them out, swap them over one by one. And I can show you guys how to do that if you guys want. Just let me know. It's real simple. You gotta usually pop this open. So you grab it and pop open the sides. It's kind of hard to do it one hand. See if I could do it. You see the little tabs? Somebody already broke one. But you basically just pop this open. Sometimes it's hard to do it one hand. Pop this open. You know, it's either gonna be the front or the back. But you pop it open. Once you pop it open, see if I could do it. Let me see if I could open it, man. Damn. See if I could open it. But yeah, guys, like that. So see, I just popped it off. Popped the whole damn thing off. But you pop it off. You know, if it comes off, you just slide it back in. It's not broken. It'll always slide back in. It has little tabs here. Those little tabs. So once you slide them back in the little tabs, it's fine. But yeah, you just stick your fingernail or something, pop this front piece off. And once you pop this front piece off, you gotta pop off the front and the back. Pop them both off, and then you go ahead and you start depinning it. You stick your, you gotta have a little pick forks or something that you can get in there. You know, the little orange handle picks or something like that. You get it in there. You know, and you do them. So what I would do is I would depin and repin all of these. It looks like it's actually 2 burnt. It might just be the one, but that second one kind of looks a little bit too. So I don't know. I'll double check when I get in there. But my whole thing is you depin and repin what you can, and then the other ones you just on the, you know, I got the whole harness. I got the whole harness. So what I'll do is on the other harness, I'll cut it like back here, like somewhere over here, just to have it long. And then I'll put it on, and then I'll cut this wire back some too. I'll cut this one up to that length too, like up to here. So that way I could twist them together and then solder them or whatever, put the heat shrink, tape, whatever you're using. You know, there's no preference. I use it all. And I'll fix that wire right there. It'll have a new head pin. It'll have a new solid connector. It'll have everything, you know, and you're just reconnecting the wire here. So that's simple fix. You know, the rest of the wires, like I said, would just be depinned and repinned into the new one. So I could fix that with no problem. The next thing it did is it burnt the fuse box. And the car still runs on this fuse box, as you can see. Car still runs beautiful. So that's why the taillights aren't working though. Because remember, that's the taillight wire. So it burnt the whole socket out of there. The whole socket's burnt out of the fuse box. The tail light socket is gone. So even though I replaced the fuse box, I have another one that I went and got. And where I put all the parts at today? The parts is hiding today, guys. But I got the parts. Here's the other fuse box, I think. Yeah, this is the other one that I bought. Damn. This is the one that I got from the junkyard. I went to the junkyard and got that bad boy. See the lines? See them junkyard lines? Yeah, so we went and got this. But I didn't leave it in there because I didn't want to burn this one up too. But now I got it. So what I'm going to do is depin and repin, fix that plug. And then I'm going to go ahead and plug it in here. And I probably don't even use it, to be honest, because I don't need it. All I got to do, like I said, is run power, run a switch. And I'll just run this wire to one end and run 12 volts to the other end of the switch. And every time I hit the switch, I'll have tail lights. And then I'll just use their original, or I'll run a switch for the front too. You know, I'll find the headlight wire out of here and I'll run that to a switch too if I want. But I really want to use turn signals and everything. So I'm going to figure out something to do with that. I probably just end up taking the whole switch off. I'll probably just take the whole switch off and make a bracket or some sort to where I can put just the switch. I can mount just the switch somewhere here. Like I said, I also have plans, if I keep it going with the, you know, cut the car up and everything. My other plan is going to be to put a piece of metal, a flat piece of metal up under here. I don't know how far back, but I'm going to put a nice piece of metal. I'm not going to put the dashboard back. I'm going to sell it if you guys need it. Everything's good on it. Let me see something. Oh, damn. This shit's missing the bezel. Okay. So, I'm not using the dash. I didn't plan on using it anyway. I just want to put a nice piece of metal down here is my goal. And I want to bolt this fuse box so it doesn't get wet. Bolt the fuse box to it somehow. So that's going to be one of my missions, to get this fuse box, you know, bolted up there. And once I bolt the fuse box underneath the piece of metal, I want to bolt the ECU underneath the piece of metal. You know, it's going to be a long piece of metal going all the way across. And the damn cluster just fell. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys need help on, man. I help you guys with whatever I can help you guys with. I'm pretty much the master now. Ha ha. Yes, sir. Anything you need to know. Like, I know these right here. These two plugs go for either going to be my turn signal hazards or dimmer switch or something like that. And this right here, I think this is for my dimmer switch. I think this is gonna be dimmer switch. I have everything here. I've just been trying to get the car right. Now I got the car right. I gotta change the oil, you know, change the fluids, and then I'm gonna come back and start wiring the tail lights. I'm thinking I was gonna eliminate the ignition because I have a push start button, and with the push start button, it comes with a fob, and if the fob is not near the car, no start. So yeah, man, I'm thinking to run the fob in here and a switch box. Switch box will be for the accessories like the fan, tail lights, and stuff like that. And then if I take the switch out of here, I still have my turn signals. I'll still have the headlights on here. That's all I need is the headlights, park lights, turn signals off of this, and then I'll run my own tail light switch and turn the tail lights on. So I have it figured out. I just have to get it done. But this right here took forever, man. To everything I told you guys, you know, I recapped it twice. I don't feel like I need to recap it again. But from everything that I told you guys and learned, and I sat in here and played with and figured out there wasn't a lot of information online about it. So that's why I came here to show you guys, you know, where to go and how to do it, you know. So it's all up to you guys, you know. But the main relay, it was good. It was here. I went and got an extra one too, but I didn't need it. It was good. A lot of that stuff you can get from the junkyard too, you know, of course. But yeah, man, I chased down every single wire in this car. I became familiar with every wire in this car. I even, like I said, I started to, I was for a second really considering to wire the doors. Here's all the door wires. These are all the grounds. I checked every wire. These are all grounds. And these are all positive. So I taped them up. I can't remember what this was. So I didn't get to test it. I didn't find it till later, till last. So I just kind of tied it here just in case it might be positive, it might be negative. But I just tied it around because I found it last and I wasn't able to test it. But for a second I was gonna, oh shit. Well, that doesn't tell me if it's positive or not, but I'm like, oh shit, the brown wire is right here. I found it already, guys. But that doesn't mean it's ground or positive, I don't know. But that was my next goal. My next move was to actually wire the doors back in just to see if that had something to, you know, do with the wire. But me rewiring the wire just kind of eliminated all of that, you know, just said, screw it. We ain't not even gonna test it. We're just gonna bypass that thing. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what I did, man. I just bypassed it, guys. And I showed you guys everything that I did. There's no information online about none of this, you know. Like I said, he left me, the guy I bought it from had a fuse box. I swapped the fuse boxes out twice. You know, one time after I thought I fixed something, next time after I thought I fixed something else. I'm like, maybe it could be it. There was no power coming out of it. And that's when I chased down to that wire that I just showed you guys on the ABS out front on the ABS motor, the orange wire. When I chased it to that, I was thinking, oh, it could be the fuse box outside again. It could be the inside fuse box. I was swapping out fuse boxes left and right. And that's kind of why the old fuse box is back in here, because I put the new fuse box in and then I was trying shit and I'm like, damn, maybe I blew up the new fuse box. Let me put the old one back in. Put the old one back in. Same stuff. So I just kept going with the old one in case I did fry something this time. You know, I know I wouldn't fry the new one. So that's the route I went. Is it easy? No, it took me a lot of long nights and heavy sweats. How did I find that green wire? How did I find to even think, you know, that I needed to jump the green wire? A lot of research online. I went online. Typed in why wipers won't stop moving while a car is running. Not a lot of stuff came up except for change your wiper switch, check your relay, wiper relay, check wiper assistant. You know, it was nothing telling me down to the nitty gritty. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys, down to the nitty gritty, man. Anything you guys need, you know, you guys trying to figure it out. I mean, I feel like I told you guys everything already, to be honest. I ain't left nothing out. So there's another switch here that the whole harness is kind of drawing down on. I just noticed while I'm here talking with you guys. This thing, it's got a lot of stress on it here. So I'm gonna, you know, I got some work to do. I'm glad I got it running. That was a start. But I don't even, look, if you chase, look, pink, look at this. I'm just looking right now. I haven't done no research. But look, pink and gray, right? Pink and gray. So as you can see, that shit's probably not even hooked up. I could probably start the car without this. I could probably unplug this and still start the car. But it's going to the clutch. I left it plugged in. But I'm still got some more testing to do. Next time I start the car, I'm gonna unplug this and see, you know, if the car shuts off, or see if I could even start the car back up or something. Maybe I don't need this. I'm plugged in. You know, I can bring the harness down some more. And this is the brake light switch. I need that, of course. I'm gonna need the brake light switch. So I can't eliminate that. But if I eliminate the tension off of here, I could bring all of this up. So I don't know. I got some work to do. I got to get it up and out of my way. That's gonna be another mission to come. Get this harness the hell out of my way. But yeah, guys, we did it, man. The car is running. We just gotta my next mission, once I'm ready, like now at least I can drive it. But like I said, this is the wire that we ran power to, that we needed. This is the dead wire. So what I'm gonna do now, or not now, but next, you know, if you guys want to see me do it, let me know. I'll make a video on it, running a switch. But I'm gonna take this wire, since this is my problem wire, and I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it right here. I'm debating because there's a couple ways. You don't want too many splices in something like this. And I already have one splice that I showed you guys going from up front. So I could do it this way. I could run, you know, cut the wire in half, run one end of it here, one end of it here, and have a switch to turn it on and off. But I don't think I want to go that route, because it's gonna put too much drain if you do stuff like that. Too much drain on a circuit, on a wire, and that will make the wire get hot. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is to run my switch to it. If you guys want to run a switch, what I'm thinking to do is take the green wire that I have taped up and I extended to the battery, the one that we ran to the battery. I'm thinking to just go ahead and take it apart, and all I would have to do then is take them apart and run the green and black wire inside, and run another piece of wire from pretty much extend my power that's coming from the battery. I would just extend that wire and run them both inside. So basically disconnect it here, extend the black, extend the green, and that way it's not too much load off of it. You know, granted, both wires will have a split in them, because, you know, one's being transferred and the other one's being transferred, but it'll be more of a heavier split than me cutting the green wire, because then I'll have a split here and I'll have a split in there, and that's gonna break down the power. That's gonna give me issues. It might give me an issue right away. It might not give me an issue till next year, but I feel like the better route would to just do it the first time, do it right, you know. So that's gonna be my mission when I do get time to run the switch. I'm just gonna take this back apart. I'm gonna extend the black wire, and then I'm gonna tie onto the green wire, run them both inside. And then once I get inside with the two wires, I will run my handy dandy switch. Where you go, handy dandy? Yes, sir. Them two wires coming inside, and I'm gonna be onto this switch, and I'll figure out somewhere to put this switch. You know, either I'll just let it hang for now, let it dangle, or I'll try to like put a zip tie. I was looking at it here. I could put a zip tie through these two holes, put it up. You know what I'm saying? And just have my switch right there. But then it won't be a kill switch. Anybody could see it. You know, anybody would come in, they would know. Well, I don't know if they would know, but after, you know, it's too obvious. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hide it. Maybe I'll leave it. Whatever. But I'm gonna run a switch, so I don't have to be out there disconnecting and connecting to the battery. So basically, that's what we're doing, man. We're gonna go ahead and run us a switch so we can start the car from in here and shut the car off from in here, and not have to look ghetto fabulous. But anything, man, you guys need. I still got to figure out. I still got some figuring out to do. If you guys want to be a part of that journey, if you guys feel like, you know, I got the tripod here. I could put the tripod up, and you know, you guys can hang out with me. We could do some live chats, whatever. But you guys gotta let me know, man. If you guys don't let me know, you know, y'all let me know. Let me know what you guys want. I don't want to do it just for fun. I want to do it to help you guys out. Like I said, there was no information online about none of this. A lot of information pointed me somewhere, and I just kept going with it. But a lot of information was none. There was no damn information. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Just, you know, hit me up, man. Let me know what you guys need. I got a lot of parts for days. This is not even half the parts, so I got parts for days. Any parts you guys need. These door panels clean too. It's gonna suck, throw them bad boys in the scrapyard, but I don't need them. Can't use them. Everything works. They clean. But yeah, hit me up, man. There's only so much I could do on here to, you know, help you guys, but you know, maybe you guys got a question that I'm not thinking of right now. It's just anything you're doing, man, just always take your time and check stuff. Like I said, when I got here, half of this shit wasn't plugged in. I didn't know where to start. I came in, I just started from ground up. Let me try plugging in shit. Okay, let me check some wires. Okay, let me try swapping a relay. Okay, like I said, the only research that I got online that was spot on was this. When they said, oh, check your this is for your ignition. I went on there and I typed in ignition had no power, and that's what I came up with. This, they said, oh, your ignition starter, I think this was a starter relay, something like that they called it. But this was it. It was right here underneath the dash, and I didn't know. So when I came down here, it was just sitting here. It was just sitting here like this, you know, unplugged like the rest of the wires. And I was like, damn, that looks important, you know. But this was nowhere to be found. So I went to the old yard, man, bone yard. Took my butt to the bone yard, and that's what I got. I got this. Gave me power back into this. Now I was able to start the car from inside, like you seen earlier. I wasn't able to do that before. See, it won't start without that power. Without that power wire. So that's pretty much a kill switch. And you could hear everything still kicking on. Listen. You hear the relay? I don't know if you guys can hear that on the phone, but the fuse box, the main relay, everything's still clicking. Listen, when I let go of the key. So, yeah, everything's still clicking, everything's still working, but I just couldn't figure it out. So, like I said, once I figured out this was missing, the relay, and I put it on, now I had power. Now I was able to use my ignition, you know. But I didn't know shit, man. I got in this car and I just had to figure all this shit out. So if you guys got issues, man, let me know, man. I'm always willing to help. I like helping. Here's your main relay. But you just heard it clicking. So if your main relay is not clicking like you just heard a while ago when I turned the key, listen again. If you don't get that from your main relay, when you turn the key like that, sometimes you're supposed to just turn the key on and it's supposed to come on and shut off. But I don't have that. Why? Because that wire is broken. Now, when I put that wire on, it powers it. So once I run the switch, you guys will be able to see the difference. I'll be able to hit the switch and then you could hear it kick on and kick off. but I can't run out there, put the wire on, and expect y'all to hear it and all that. So yeah, man, we got power to everything. This had power from the get-go, but it didn't have a lot of power until I changed the ECU. So I think the first ECU that he had on there was just halfway dead. And then when I plugged the other one in, everything was lit up. Fuse box came on sounding nice. Main relay came on sounding nice. And like I said, I didn't have this on. They took this off. So I didn't have no power for this. So I was starting it out there, like I showed you earlier, from the starter to the battery every time. And that's the only way I could start it after I was able to start it. You know, that took a week alone to figure out what was going on. Because he told me, oh, I changed the computer. That's another thing. You can't listen to people. You can listen to them, but you got to decipher the difference. So he told me, oh, he just put the computer on. And, you know, here's the computer right here. He's like, oh, this computer is good, da-da-da. Opened up computer. So I'm like, you know, the computer might be good. He probably was listening and testing shit. Might be good. So the whole time I left it on, I said, let me try switching the computer with one of the other computers that he has here. Swapped it. Boom. That's when I got power. So the whole time, man, it was just the damn computer and some wires and, you know, shit that he took off and a whole lot, man. This car, I ain't gonna lie, it whooped my ass, you know, to find the wire, run power to it, you know, swapping fuse boxes every 5 seconds, taking all these relays off to put it on the other fuse box, and taking the fuses out to make sure they all got fuses when I swap them. This car kicked my ass. I ain't gonna lie, kicked my ass. But, you know, I'm here summarizing the whole thing, and it just sounds so easy, you know, because I know exactly what it is now. But it kicked my ass, man. I ain't gonna lie. It took some time. Me telling you it, you know, this is it, this is that is this. You're like, damn, you could have had that car running the same day. But if you don't know, like, you know how long it took me to realize this shit was missing, and you know how long it took me to realize this was plugged out, this was plugged out. It was just a clusterfuck of wire, and it was mean. It was mean. Like all these wires that I have down here into like a little pile now, nice and, you know what I'm saying, put away. All that shit was like a cat hair nest ball. It was just a ball of fur in here, man. So it's a little bit neater now, you know, but I still have to you know, put everything away and figure out what I'm gonna do with what. Really, I could, if I put that's another reason why I want to put the push start, because then I could put all of this back here in the corner and not have to worry. If this touches ground, because they're all open, the car will try to start. I don't want to do it, I'm scared. But if you look, if you put the screwdriver, it happened to me one time. I laid on the screwdriver and the bitch just started starting. I'm a scary cat. I don't know. But one day it laid down and it just started starting. But I was thinking, if I eliminate this, I won't need nothing. I'll just have my push start over there. Or we could go ahead and ghetto fabulous it up here somewhere. So we could just put the key in there, turn it. I mean, not the key, but, you know, the handy dandy screwdriver. We'll take the handy dandy screwdriver, put it in there, start it, and then we'll have our switch hidden. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to wrap this video up real quick with you guys. My phone's dying, so I guess I done talked y'all ears off enough, but I just wanted to show you guys everything that I did and everything that I know, you know, about everything and everything. Hey, I just went ahead while my phone died a second ago. I was making a video. It didn't die. It ran out of power, out of space, so I had to delete some stuff. But I went ahead and jumped this jumped. I ran ahead and threw it up top over the cluster here, so I could have the foot space back. Threw it over there, but yeah, it's back in business, baby. Back in business. Now I can put my foot and get some of that clutch space. It's kind of get some of that clutch space back. So that's what I did. I just jumped the wires over. I need a new camera, man. You guys want to donate me a camera? I bring content to y'all every day. Every day. Show y'all what y'all need to know. I even ran some ground. Some of the wires that were disconnected, I just try to run everything back to everything, you know? But none of that shit did nothing. But I just left it there, just why not, right? But yeah, man, all in all, just start bypassing stuff. That's what I did. Twisted everything together, bypassed everything, and nigga, we made it. Hey, yeah, we made it. So it happened. You know, everybody told me to junk the car. They said, just give up. They said, I don't do wiring. I'm not good with wiring. I can't help you. I just don't, I do anything but wiring. And I'm like, man, I'm going to figure this shit out. Forget everybody else. I'm going to get it. And like I said, a month later, we fixed it. It's ready to go. If I would have had the switch in here, I'd be able to just switch it real quick. You know, turn the ignition. I put the ignition up here. That way I could just throw the screwdriver in there, hit them after I flip my switch. I'm going to run the switch tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the switch tomorrow. Fuck it. Because I hate going out there and taking off the wire and all that. I just want to bloop, bloop, and we fire up now. Hey, man, just like that. Thanks for watching. If you guys need anything, man, these seats is clean too. I really don't want to use them because they're going to get wet once I cut the roof. I'm going to cut the roof right in front of the sunroof. So basically, it's going to get cut right in front of the sunroof. I'm going to leave that little lip. I'm going to leave the windshield for now until I get roll pipes and bars where I could actually frame it up and make it into a real life go-kart. I got to find the bars. But for right now, I just want to cut it. I want to see it cut. You know, if I cut the car and I get bored of it, I could still yank the motor and transmission out and, you know, put it in something else. But I always wanted a go-kart, so this car is getting cut. The quarter panels are smashed out on this car. Oh, this one's all right. But, you know, the car is beat. Like, why not cut it? Why not cut it? You can't fix that. Look at the, down here. It's hit hard. All that's getting cut off. I'm gonna cut all of that. Cut all of this out. I'm gonna leave just that middle piece down here and the bar. That way, for now, I can't get pulled over because it has a bumper. But once I get the metal pipes, all that's coming off too. I'll just put the headlight straight to the pipe or something, figure something out. But for now, all this is coming off. There's gonna be not a dent on this car. It's gonna be dent free when I'm done with it. Dent free. Cause look, even up here. Yeah, the car is beat, man. So I don't plan on keeping the car, the body on there. I'm taking all that off. And we're gonna make us a go-kart, guys. So if you guys are interested for that, you guys want to see that happen, let me know. Let me know. You guys are gonna see a nice little beastie beast. I also got a turbo kit Thinking about putting a turbo on it, you know, once I cut it up, of course. So we might make some power with this thing cut up. Let me know if you guys are down, if you guys want to see more videos. We got other cars too, we can show you guys. We got about, you know, 5 more Hondas and stuff. If you guys are interested, you guys want to see the other cars, let me know. I just had to make this video to show you guys how to get it running. I was gonna drive it for the first time. As you can see, it hasn't moved in a while. It's just been sitting here, so the grass is growing. I was gonna actually move it, but I realized I didn't make an outro. My phone kept losing memory, and it just kept shutting off and stuff. It wasn't dead, but it was losing memory. Long story short, if you guys need help with anything, let me know. Let me know. I'll help you as much as I can in the comments. But the car kicked my butt, man. It was about a month working on that car, sticking each wire, checking voltage, checking ground, checking voltage, checking ground. You know, the little research that I did find online, it led me somewhere, but it didn't lead me to the right spot. You know, I still had to do more digging. So I showed you guys everything. You know, basically, you know, if you don't know, your main thing is going to be gas, air, spark, right? So, and power. You need power to do all that. So that's what I was running into. I didn't have no power to power up my spark, power up my gas, power up, you know, my ECU. And that's what I was running into. But I showed you guys everything. It was missing a relay. A couple plugs wasn't plugged in. Kicked my ass, man, I promise. And I called everyone. When I said I called everyone for help, I called everyone for help. And everybody told me to just junk the car, take the motor and tranny out. You know it's good. That's what you bought it for. They say, I'm not good with wiring. I can't help you. I don't know where to start. I wouldn't even touch that car. That's what everybody was telling me. And for me to have it running now with no check engine light, big accomplishment, man. Big accomplishment. I knew I could do it. It just, every time I thought I fixed it, it wasn't fixed. You know, like I'm like, oh, broken wire. Got it. Nope, still no voltage. Check the fuse, blown fuse, put a new fuse. Nope, still no voltage. And, you know, swap the computer. Yep, still didn't start. So, yeah, man. If there's anything I can help you guys with, let me know. And again, if you guys need any parts, man, all them parts, I'm going to really throw them away. So, if you guys need any parts, man, you want to pay for shipping, let me know, man. Let me know. I'm not saying I'm gonna give them away for free, but you know, 50 bucks, you know, 100 bucks, whatever. If you need the sunroof glass with the motor, $100. If you need the seats, $100. If you need, I'm keeping the tail lights. That's my best part on the car. But man, anything you need, man, just let me know. I'll give you a really good deal on it. Like I say, you pay for shipping, it's yours, you know. I'm gonna hold on to most of the parts for a little bit, especially the sunroof with the motor and stuff, because you can put that in any car. You can make any car with sunroof on that, you know. But anything you guys need help with, man, that you think I could help you with, let me know. You know, I pretty much explained everything. Like, if your fuel pump's not kicking on, you could check those wires on the thermostat. You know, that happens. Thermostat wires come off. The ground, the 4 ground wires that I showed you on the thermostat, the black ones, sometimes those get messed up, car won't start. Sometimes the bolt is loose, car won't start. I bought a car like that one time. Car would start and shut off, start and shut off. And when I finally figured it out, after they did the swap, they didn't tighten that 10mm ground on the thermostat all the way. So it would start, but it would shut right back off because the ground wasn't there. So yeah, bought a car like that before. It ran perfect, you know. Gave it to my sister, matter of fact. So just let me know what you guys need help on, man. you know, it only could be a few things really, but unless it comes down to that wiring, you know, but I pretty much showed you everything. You guys can look up a Power Probe 3 and you'll find them online for, I think I paid $32 for a Power Probe 3. You go on Amazon, eBay, Temu probably has them even cheaper now. So whatever, you can get one of those. And that little beep, 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 that thing to find the wire. I told you can go on Amazon, eBay, Temu. They go for roughly $12 to $15 now. You get one of those so you can find your broken wires. Truthfully, I mean, it did help because I was able to put the wire, I know the wire was dead on the inside, so I put it on the inside green wire, and I waved the wand, and that's where I found it was broken right there in that part of the, remember the wires are taped up, they got plastics on them, you can't see the broken wire. So when I put it on the wire inside the car, I was able to come outside the car and wave it by and see where the issue was. So that's how I knew the problem was right there, and I needed to take the wire loom off and get right here because it's broken right here. So it did help, and you know, it did help, but could you have done it the old school way and just peeled it off anyway? I had to peel it off anyway, so you could have done that. You could take all that shit apart, take all the plastic off, the tape off the wires, and I could have seen a broken wire there, right? And just taped it back up and made it look even nicer than it did before. Because that plastic's so thick, now that you taped it up, it just looks, it's more tucked, you know, especially since I'm cutting up the car. I'm going to want it out of the, less visible. Long story short, man, it only could be a few things, you know, check your fuses, your relays, and computer. Always check your computer. But the main thing to do, check your spark. Go straight to the spark. Straight to the spark. Put a spark plug in the wire if you got an extra one, or take one of the spark plugs out the motor. Put it straight in the spark plug wire. You know, you're gonna leave the wire hooked up to the distributor, and you're gonna have the wire with the spark plug pushed into it, and you're gonna sit it on the valve cover, turn the engine over, and see if you got spark, strong spark. Now there's some weak spark and there's some strong spark. I don't know if I can show you that right now. Maybe if you guys want, let me tell me in the comment and I'll make a video. I'll unplug the distributor and show you weak spark, and then I'll plug the distributor in and show you strong spark. And not plug it in and plug it out, because then it wouldn't give you no spark at all. I would have to, you know, figure out something. I'll figure out something to show you guys weak spark and strong spark. If you guys want that. But go straight to spark. If you got all that beautiful spark, check fuel. You know, it's kind of hard to hear the fuel pump sometimes because they're factory, they're quiet. So sometimes you got to put your ear on the seat, turn the key on, or have somebody turn the key on. Or you got to just hope you can hear it, you know. Or you go to the front and take the line, the line that goes from the fuel rail to the fuel filter. Crack the line, see if you got pressure fuel coming up front. That's what you got to do sometimes. You run the risk of the banjo washer, you know, going out, but you can get banjo washers at O'Reilly's, Napa, maybe even AutoZone, you know, in advance. But everybody has it, man. I always go to Napa for that stuff. The distributor O-rings that always leak, Napa. The one I just told you, the banjo washers is what they're called. They're just the copper washers, Napa. Yeah, man. So anything you guys think that I can help you with, man, I'm trying to think of more scenarios, you know, that your car could run through. Most of the time it's going to be the distributor. You know, a lot of times you got a weak spark or no spark. It's going to be is what's called your TDC module, which is located in the distributor. Or it could be your coil. It's going to be one of them two inside the distributor. TDC module or coil. How do you know between the two? if you're like on the side of the street and you want to know if, you know, if it's the coil, I kind of can't think of it right now to be exact. I don't want to send no false information, but if you guys needed help on something like that, I would dig it back up and tell you guys what you needed to know. Another thing is when the distributor's going bad, your RPM gauge is going to flicker sometimes. If you ever run into your RPM gauge flickering and it's in and out sometimes, the distributor's bad. Just taught you something if you didn't know that. But I know a lot of gems, man. I know a lot of gems when it comes to the Honda world. So anything you guys think that you need help on, I'm pretty sure I could figure it out and help you guys, you know, especially when you're doing swaps. If you take this Prelude motor and you go put it in a Civic, you got to switch a couple wires at the ECU, the idle air control valve, stuff like that. It's really just the idle air control valve wire you got to switch. It goes from 3-wire to 2-wire. So you got to eliminate one wire and jump and switch it to the next one. Easy breezy. But anything you guys need help with, I'm going to stop saying that. I'm out of here, man. I don't know. I'm done with the scenarios. I think I helped enough. I showed you guys everything that I did. Like I said, it kicked my ass for a month. Nobody was here to help me. So, like I said, man, y'all need help, I'm here, man. I know a lot. A little bit. You know, a lot of time it could be your main relay. I can go on for days, man. I can go on for days. But, you know, the way you can know if it's your main relay is turn the key on and you listen for the main relay. A lot of times on the Civics, they're going to be on the passenger side, right by the by your foot. As soon as you look by the foot area, kick panel, right up top, or in the EKs, you're probably going to have to open the glove box and look on the inside on the right. You're going to see them in there. The EGs is going to be by the foot on the bottom. EGs, your 92 to 95. But when it comes to these Preludes and Accords, they're on the driver's side, as you can see in my video. That's on the driver's side, by your foot kick panel. So little jewels like that, man, people don't, you know, it takes time to learn all these things. But I'm pretty much the guru at this thing, man. So anything you guys need help with, man, any parts, I got a lot of parts. Get at your boy, man. I'm out this time.